One. Yo, this is Nova Trifecta. I am Jimmy Fedor, aka Alias, aka uh Black Bosa.
Captain Black Sparrow.
Introduce yourself, Shad and Troy.
What's up, Nova Trifecta? This is Big Boy Troy or Kendall.
Yeah.
That's all you got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We got with us. We have two special.
These fools that showed up in costume and didn't tell me that we was doing a costume podcast today.
Well, the memo is it's a Halloween episode. So
that don't mean people dressing up.
Everybody got the memo except you. We have two lovely guests with us today. We have Lady Beck, and we also have April, aka Cleopatra. Say hello to the people.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
Hello.
This is our special Halloween edition episode. We're gonna be covering several topics strictly Halloween. The first topic I want to get in today is what are some of you guys' favorite Halloween movies coming up as a kid or either an adult as well?
Well, I make it a tradition to watch Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic every Halloween because I'm scary. I do kid-friendly Halloween. I can't do slashers. The only time I can do slashers if I'm like in a room in the daytime or at night with everybody. I can watch it, but I don't watch scary movies. I don't. I watch them with lenzi, but that's about it.
My favorite growing up for sure was Freddy Krueger. I loved Freddy Krueger so much. Like, Mom said I would cry to watch it as a child, and like she didn't want me watching it, but of course she gave in. But Freddy Krueger is definitely the go-to, so I'll usually watch those, and that's my favorite.
Yeah, I'll do Freddy.
I have to watch kid-friendly Halloween movies too, and we'll get into that later. Juicy. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I have to watch kid-friendly Halloween movies, so I grew up with Hocus Pocus and Casper. So that's my two favorite Halloween movies. Casper's probably my favorite. Hocus Pocus probably my second favorite.
Man, so all right, so growing up, if you know me, the ones that do know me know that I was a preacher's kid. And my dad, we did not celebrate the devil's holiday, basically is how it was treated in our house. So I didn't get to see any of that. I didn't even get to dress up. I didn't go trick-or-treating. We absolutely did not celebrate it at all. It wasn't until I was like 24, 25 years old when I got married to Lady Beck that I actually started celebrating Halloween. But I was a little scary. She taught me into going to haunted houses, watching movies. But I'm more of the Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town. You know, that stuff's good. I do like a little Michael Myers. It's not overly scary, but I don't really get into the whole real demonic stuff because I feel like that stuff's gonna like follow me to sleep and be in my house later on.
It did follow me to sleep. I'll never watch it again. They ain't never got to worry about getting no money for me no more. And it's Juice's fault. We'll talk about that.
Well, me personally, I kind of like the spiritual realm of everything, as well as slashers.
That's because you're a demon.
The Exorcist is one of the favorite movies, one of my favorite movies growing up, as well as Friday the 13th. I like to see people get sliced and diced, and I like to see a lot of blood and guts and all that good stuff.
That's weird.
I agree with that.
I think there's something wrong with people that like to look at stuff like that.
I definitely prefer slashers.
It's weird.
Well, yeah.
It's weird.
Well, that bleeds into the next question then. Which do you guys prefer? And talk about some of the differences in slasher movies and some of these friendly movies like Halloween Town and all that good stuff and Hocus Pocus.
No, I think scary movies set you up, first of all. They try to give you a playbook of what to deal with when you deal with, and you can't run from ghosts. That's stupid. You can't run from ghosts. I'm coming out the wall, you can't run from it. So it's gonna set you up every time to be dumb. So that's why I don't watch them, because it's not a playbook or what you do. You just might as well just give your life up, because that's it.
Well, it's ways that they give you little nuggets to defend yourself against a ghost.
You
Like-
can't defend yourself. You
Yeah.
can't defend yourself. Ain't nothing you can do get no darn demon, man.
It is. It's demon traps. You can use salt and put it around your home.
Salt.
If you feel sulfur, you need to get the hell out. You can have salt-based shotguns with bullets around them. There's certain things that you can do to defend yourself.
You should know that from Hocus Pocus. Come on.
If something come and possess you and you hide under the couch, what the ghost gonna say? You know what? She got to jump on me. I'm gonna leave her. And they pick and choose who they want to possess too. Because if you got diabetes, high blood pressure, they're gonna leave you alone. They die. They die from that. They ain't bothering you. No.
Ghosts
I personally like
choosy.
like personally with all that, like the difference to me, like why I would prefer a slasher movie or something like kind of gory, like Saw and stuff like that, like torturing people or something like that, over the demonic stuff, is because like I constantly, like, I cannot stress this enough, for like my life until my dad passed away was nothing but like we ate, slept, breathed the Bible. We went to church every week. Like, I mean, he always talked about that stuff being so real, and that those demons, that's just inviting demons in your home, and you know, you could get demon possessed, or they could, you know, they'll torture you and stuff like that. Like, he preached that so much to like me and my brother and even my mom, like that. It just like scared me to the fact, like, if I do try to watch it, like I feel like that stuff is gonna like attack me, like literally, like when I go to sleep or when I'm in the house or something like that. So like that's the reason even now that I would rather watch somebody getting sliced up than, you know, somebody being possessed by demons.
Man, listen, I know for a fact, I let Juicy, this was back in, how long ago was this? Juicy?
Is this the Paranormal Activity story?
Yes, this is the Paranormal Activity story. I let Juicy talk me into going on a double date to see Paranormal Activity 2. Now, everybody knows that I don't do horror movies. I like kid-friendly, family Halloween movies that we grew up with, like Halloween Town, Casper, Hocus Pocus, stuff like that. Stuff that ain't really that bad, even though they was sucking the soul out of kids on Hocus Pocus. But whatever, it's still cool. Derek, my friend Derek Gardner, brought Jeepers Creepers to my grandmama's house when we was in the 8th grade. And it took me a decade to get over that. And then I let Juicy talk me into going to see Paranormal Activity 2. And he done it. And my girl was right beside me. So it's like I almost couldn't get out of it this time because she really wanted to go. She wanted to go. And Juicy was making me feel like less of a man for not going. And so we ended up going. And like throughout the movie, I could feel myself getting more tense and more tense. And then toward the end of the movie, when the demon really started cutting up, I just left everybody in the movie theater.
Actually, you got up and left when they actually showed the demon in the basement. It was only 10 minutes left in the movie. You should have sat there and just took it.
No, I got up and walked out. I didn't say a word all the way home. I can remember talking to Juicy like a month after that. And me and Juicy usually talk like 2 or 3 different times a week. I talked to Juicy like a month after that. And I told Juicy my experiences. Like my mama was asking me how come I was coming in, cutting the lights on. Like I couldn't go to sleep at night. I was cutting all the lights on. Like it was a bad, bad, bad month. I had bad dreams. Like, nah, it was trash. It was trash.
Did you dress little?
Huh?
You dressed up when you were little? Did you go trick-or-treating?
I mean, I went trick-or-treating, but I was stuff like Power Rangers and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I can't do that demonic stuff. Like, I can't do that.
My mom,
man, I couldn't even do Power Ranger stuff. Like when I say we didn't celebrate Halloween or the Devil's Holiday, we didn't celebrate anything of it.
It is the Devil's Holiday. Look at Juicy. Look how he laughing. That man a demon, man.
Nah.
Like I really like that's one thing like Lindsay Dunn like opened my eyes to, man, this is actually a fun holiday. This stuff
That's
really
Lindsay a demon.
it isn't that bad. Well, she's a smoking hot demon then. I mean, I'm you know, like, but she did get me to watch this movie, no joke. This movie called Insidious, and I watched it with a whole bunch of people and all the lights on. And she had to save me because I fell asleep and he about got me. And like, I remember, like, I felt like I was Samson in Delilah's lap. Like, I woke up, she was like holding my face and my head, telling me everything was going to be all right. But it literally, I mean, I woke up screaming.
He was screaming. That's true.
I mean, that's no joke.
What about you, ladies? What's the difference? Which one do you prefer? Slashers or kid friendly movies?
You know, I like kid friendly, but slashers, since it's physical, I can understand people running from somebody physical. But like I said, why you were running from a ghost, because it's coming through a wall. How you gonna run through from a ghost?
So you prefer the physical more so than the spirit? Okay, I got you.
First, I thought it was a comedy. Like, Broad or Check It, I think it's funny. Some of the stuff is funny.
Yeah.
If it's just possessed my mouth, I can't do it. I think I had a similar experience with Texas. I think it was either Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Armourville Horror. I went and saw that at the movies. I think those my last two I ever saw. I didn't do it again. I haven't saw any of the Saws. I haven't seen any of the activities. I will not watch them. I didn't watch The Boys too, the second season, because it was too gruesome. I couldn't do it.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm kind of the same way, Lo. Like if I had to choose between the slasher stuff, like Chucky is funny to me. I'm good with Chucky. I'm all right with Jason and them. Like, I'm all right with them. I think me and Juicy, our buddy Derek Gardner, I think we went and saw like Jason X or something like that. Like, I was cool with that because I can run away from Jason.
We went to go see.
Jason ain't gonna catch me. This
we went
ain't
to go
no
see
movie.
Friday the 13th when they remade it, and you got put out because you was on your phone.
Yep, got put out.
Dang, man.
Got kicked
out of the movie theater.
Yeah, but I blessed the dude out and he let me back in.
Let him back in. I don't know how you got back in. What about you, Lindsay?
So I definitely prefer slasher for sure. I'm kind of like Kendall and April on the paranormal stuff. Like, I think it's more because I think I could defend myself against this, like a Michael Myers or something like that. I mean, I feel like I could defend myself, but when it comes to like a demon, like, I think everybody that can happen. Like, I'm with Kendall on that 100%. Yeah. Yeah, The Possession of Emily Rose. Oh my God, that movie.
Oh God.
Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna
tell you, story. It's based on a true story.
Well, I told you, like, the stuff, like, I know for a fact that it got in. My pastor, like, I had to get counseling from my pastor. My pastor was like, you never should have went to that movie because you opened up the door and let demons in.
Exactly.
I believe that 100. Yeah. I believe that 100% because I could not go to sleep at night. It was all in my dreams. It was in my mind. They'll never have to worry about getting no money from me.
If it's entities and stuff like that and badness and darkness, shouldn't your light defeat that?
Like, it should.
You know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with you. Yeah.
Let that stuff get to you if you, like, grounded with your faith. And
but you can't use the light if you're too scared.
But I will say this: Emily Rose her faith was good. She was going to a Catholic school. She was in, she had a religious upbringing, religious family, and it defeated her. Like, she should have died. Okay.
Man, I'll never forget, like, being a young child. Like, my dad being a pastor. Not only did he like pastor a church, like, we're like Pentecostal, so like we had loud services, people dancing, all sorts of stuff going on. Like, it was a lot of movement going on, and I'll never forget, like, a lady coming in like the back door with like these weird, crazy, just dark eyes, and like making a beeline up to the altar where my dad and another pastor was, and like she starts talking to him, and she was like possessed. She had a demon in her, and I remember like like that. Like I remember my mom getting me and my brother, and out the back door we went and sat in the classroom. And I was thinking the whole time, like, man, what if this thing like comes in here with us? Like, we don't have a pastor. What's my mom's gonna pray for? What are we gonna do? Like, I'll never forget that. Like, I was scared to death. So then on top of like all constantly being, you know, preached to about that stuff's bad, it's nothing but the devil, and it's, you know, we don't participate. It's just, you know, I just always thought it was kind of overboard that I never could dress up as stuff and go trick or treat. Now I thought we took it a little bit too far, but I mean, that was his rules and that's what we did. So
speaking of trick or treating, could y'all like talk about the differences about trick or treating when we were kids versus trick or treating nowadays?
What's that sound?
No. Can y'all hear it? Man?
I don't know what that is.
Like it's a disconnect.
Nah, I don't hear it. But
might be in your house, Rashad.
Yeah, it might be in your house. Could you let's talk about the differences, you know, when we were trick or treating when we was kids versus now.
Well,
So when we were, oh, go ahead, go Bets.
I think kids are just a little bit lazier now, and that's why I try to get the kids that do participate the most candy possible, because I just feel like it's not a lot of kids that want to participate. Because to me, Halloween is participation. It's if you took the time to dress up and go out and walk around and be festive, then I feel like you should be rewarded. So, and I feel like probably people felt the same way when we were younger. So I do go overboard with candy. I would give you the most candy ever because you just took the time, not sit in front of the TV, and you got outside and you basically played. So that's why I go ahead and reward any kid that come to my house. I give you a whole bag of candy.
Are you the full size candy bar lady?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
So when we were kids, we all like we would all get together, all of our cousins and our aunts, and we would walk the blocks. I mean, we would trick or treat. Every house participated. Like I remember coming home on Halloween night, pouring all of our candy in the floor, you know, and just going through and trading with our cousins and our sister and everything. Like, what do you want? What do you like? And now you have to worry more, I think, about the safety. Not only not only just checking the kids' candy, because I don't believe that as much as a concern, but mischief going on. Like you can't even go like on a regular day to the Galleria. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of like as a parent now, I'm constantly like, it's like you're almost scared to go anywhere. I know that sounds crazy, like, but especially like on Halloween because, you know, mischief's going on or whatever, even more so. So I think it's being careful and everything. Now we still go trick or treating. We try to do like the houses that we know, you know, just the communities we know. But I think that's the big difference. I think we felt safer, and we probably weren't any safer in the 90s or whatever, but we felt safer, you know.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, like look what's going on like in our country with like kids coming up missing, and like I know personally, like around here, like where we're from, like there's like some sex trafficking stuff going on. And so like I think like I would be scared out of my mind to even let our oldest kids go by themselves, walk and trick or treat. Like not so much maybe around here, but I just think like I think if you're in that industry of stealing kids and stuff like that, like it kind of sets it up perfect. Oh, well, all these kids are gonna be dressed up. I can dress up. I ain't gotta look like a creep. I can act like I'm just, going to get candy or whatever, and I could snatch a couple kids.
Okay, yeah, I agree as well. You know, when we was young, it felt safer trick or treating. Actually, we could actually go out as a group of kids. And parents would be by, but they didn't have to necessarily walk with you house to house to house. So,
Right.
I mean, like you said, it might have been a false sense of safeness then as opposed to now because we have more information about things. But it just felt different. And it felt like more kids was participating in the 90s. But we had a lot of less technology and things to keep us in the house. So I mean, I feel like it's a little different. But they have things like trunk or treat, because that's why I'd like to take my kid, different communities where you feel safe. So it's all about just being safe nowadays, I think.
That's like the one thing I did get to do back in the day. Like my dad would take us to like a fall festival, like a church was having, or they were having a, you know, his church would have a fall festival, or if it was like a school fall festival. That was like the only thing I got to do. So like, I don't know, like, I always thought it was dumb. Like, was it going to hurt me going out there dressing up like a, you know, a cowboy or Indian or a Power Ranger or something like that, or a Ninja Turtle, and get some candy? But, you know, so
honestly though, I mean, a lot of stuff today just don't. And like Lenzi was saying, to piggyback on what she was saying, we probably weren't that safe back then either, but the atmosphere just felt different.
Yeah.
Back then, the atmosphere felt different. Everything felt different back then. I remember when, you know, we would get in groups and go walk down the street and go trick or treating, and nobody thought about it. And now today it's just different today. It's just that you got a lot of weirdos and creeps and stuff out here, man. It's just different today. Everything, the whole atmosphere is different.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, I got a question for you guys. What is the character that scared you? Single character, or it could be characters that scared you the most from any movie coming up as a kid?
Jeepers Creepers.
You and the kid?
Easy. Yeah, I was. I was in the 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
Easily Jeepers Creepers. I ain't never seen nothing like it then. Ain't never seen nothing like it now. Easily.
Man, I don't have one from a kid because like I literally couldn't, like, he would turn the TV if the preview come on. So like I had no, like, these kids talking about like Freddy or Jason or Leatherface, like at school, like I was lost. Like, what are they talking about? You know, like, I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know. But I would say like that Insidious movie, that dude from the Insidious or one, I can't remember what it was now. Like it literally, like it about got me in my sleep. If Lindsay hadn't been there, I'd have been gone.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was creepy when they first. When he like playing the piano or something, I wanted to sing the way he was playing the piano.
We gotta talk about it in detail. That's as bad as watching it.
I'll never forget, like, I was laying asleep on the couch and that Joker, like, come through the couch and was getting me. Like, I was gone. Like, if Lindsay had not have been there, I was gone.
Yeah. Mine is Chucky. Chucky is all because my buddy came out around the same time, and I got my kid's sister for Christmas. And I saw the Chucky movie, and me and my little sister, we went and buried our kid's sister outside because she could not stay in the house because we saw the preview for it. And I will apologize to my dogs if I like hit my dog or did something crazy. My dog, I would say I was sorry to my dog because I didn't want her to come back to life and kill me. Like a real bad one. Chucky and Freddy were awful for me. I couldn't do it. And Freddy had a rap song. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can remember I would, like, when I was a kid, the only time I ever saw Freddy was I accidentally like saw Nightmare on Elm Street on TV. Like I was flipping by and I would get freaked out because I was like, nah, I'm not watching nothing that can attack me in my dream. I'm not watching that. I'm not doing that. All this stuff is some evil you can't fight. I ain't watching no evil you can't fight. No. I stick to superhero movies. At least you can fight the evil.
Yeah.
What about you?
You can't fight this mess, man.
What about you, Lindsay?
For me, it wasn't even a character that anybody knows. My dad would tell us stories, me and my sister, and he came up with this character called Bloody Bones and Sackman. Okay, and Bloody Bones and Sackman, like I can visually see them. He would tell us scary stories, and they lived by our house in the woods. And I know y'all don't know nothing about no Bloody Bones, but he's still, like, I can still, if I'm outside at night, like I'm like kind of secretly looking around for Bloody Bones, and it's so freaking scary.
That's funny.
But as far as
I
like
was like that about
go,
Jeepers Creepers.
as far as movies go, I would have to probably be with April with Chucky because we're about the same age. So Chucky was coming out when we were still playing with dolls, and that is a true fear of a killer doll, a demonic doll trying to kill you and take your soul. Yeah, it's Chucky for sure.
Yeah.
For me, go ahead.
I never understood ghosts. I have a problem with ghosts because I don't understand why they so mad. Like why you upset? That's the only thing I never got, because I would read Alabama ghost stories and I never had a problem with that. Y'all remember Alabama ghost stories?
Oh yeah.
I never like had a problem with ghosts. I just don't like demons. That's two different things.
It is definitely too different.
I agree.
For me, the character that scared me the most coming up was Pinhead from Hellraiser. Pinhead from
I thought you was gonna talk about the leprechaun in the hood that you
that scared the
of.
shit out of me too. I'm not gonna even lie. Leprechaun in the hood scared the shit out of me. But Pinhead from Hellraiser was different, and he was actually in hell with pins coming out his face. Talk creepy, scared the shit out of me. Still scared of him to this day. All right, this can bleed into you know the conversation about the scariest movie that you've ever seen. And that could be completely different than a single character that you were scared of versus the scariest movie that you've ever seen.
Paranormal Activity 2. And it's not even a competition for me.
Paranormal Activity 2.
Paranormal Activity. That's the scariest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. It made me walk in my house, and I was like 24. And I was still living with mama at the time, I remember. And it made me walk in and turn the lights on and sleep with the lights on all over my house for months. I had to get counseling from my pastor. I had to get counseling from my dad, who was also a pastor. I had to get counseling from my mom, from my sister. I come from a religious family. I had to get counseling from my grandmother. I could not sleep. I used to have to sit in bed and wait until the daytime to go to sleep. And I had a night job. And so I got off work at like 11:30 at night. I would come in the house and turn on all of the lights in my mama's house. And I can remember my mama asking me, how come you been coming in here cutting all the lights on? Like I was scared. Like it sounds like a joke now, but it wasn't a joke then. Like I can remember talking to Juicy like a month after we saw it. And Juicy was like, bro, I knew it had to be something wrong with you because I hadn't heard from you in like a month. And we usually talk every single day. Didn't you say that, Juicy?
Yeah, I did. That's hilarious.
Like I didn't even call and talk like I was acting so weird and so different because I had a bad dream and I had a bad experience after I saw that movie. I swear I had to get counseling from everybody. I always, when I was coaching Park and Rec, I used to tell kids, no, y'all ain't going to see that movie. They used to sit up and talk about going to see horror movies and stuff. No, don't do it.
What about you, April?
That's enough. I would never watch that movie ever. From what you just said,
No. Don't ever watch it. I have not watched a horror movie since. I barely watched them before that, but I definitely hadn't watched one since, and I never will.
You need to watch The Haunting of Hill House.
Did you hear what I just said? I said I will never, ever watch another one. Why would you say what I need to watch?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It got some spirits and stuff in it. You should check it out.
Good is of no consequence. I told you I'm not watching any anymore. No.
What about you, April?
I'm not doing it either.
What was the scariest movie you've ever seen, April?
Movie, besides Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was when I was little. My dad was watching Pet Sematary, and to this day, if I see a pet on like the side of the road and it's dead, I can't look. I can't. But you remember Blockbuster when they had the horror section?
Mm-hmm.
You would try to go and pick a movie, it'd be like next to the comment section or something, and I'll run past it just so I didn't even want to look at the title covers. I couldn't even look at that. I had to run past it, and I would see Hellraiser, and it scared me so bad, and I would just run. And one time I run, I closed my eyes and I ran into the window.
What about you? What about you?
What?
Lindsay, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
The scariest movie, I don't know if I was actually a child when I seen it, but for me, the scariest movie would have been The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, that's pretty scary.
The Conjuring. And once again, it's one of those stories that's supposedly based on true events. And I think that stuff is what scares me the most. Like the slashers, they're good to watch, and they keep you suspenseful on the edge of your seat, kind of. But like when it comes to the demonic stuff or whatever, and it's so true and it can happen, to me, that scares me more than anything because, just a regular family moving in a house, stuff start happening like that. To think that something like that could actually happen, that's scary to me. Like that would give me nightmares, stuff like that.
Most definitely.
So The Conjuring would be the scariest movie I've probably seen.
What about you, Kendall? I think
Why the smirk on Juicy face?
It says Insidious, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's still like so like Lindsay works nights, so like I mean when our off nights didn't line up together and like I had to be here with all the kids, like I make Cambry sleep with me. Not only like Cambry's like a one of a kind, like she watches all sorts of demonic stuff and Chucky and dresses up and like her nana gave her some money. We go in a store, she buys a Chucky cup, like blood splattered all over the cup and just showing it off to all these old people. Like, look at my new cup. Like, she's like, I mean, she's hell on wheels when it comes to like horror stuff. Like she loves all of it. So like when Lindsay would be at work, like I make Cambry sleep with me just because like if I hear weird noises or something like that, like I expected any moment like something bust up in my room and get me. Like that
movie gonna sacrifice his child.
Exactly.
I mean, she's a whole lot. I mean, my
more
money's
equipped
on
to deal
her
with
if
it.
something happens.
She more equipped to defend y'all than you are.
Yes, exactly.
She know the ins and outs.
Do you think that's better that she'll never have a feel?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I'm serious. Like, when I say like the reason I'm not into all that stuff is because the way I was raised and how, and my dad, I love him to death. He was my best friend. And I mean, I can't say enough great things about him, but like, he just put a psychological, like crazy fear for all that demonic, spiritual, like all that stuff in me, like to the point it was like, I just left it alone. And then when I started dating Lindsay, like she was like, oh, that's like the greatest holiday there is. Like, I'm like, greatest holiday? I think it's when Christ was born and it was Christmas. Like, how can you say Halloween's a great holiday? And then like she taught me into going to haunted houses. We watched movies together. And yeah, I'm straight scared of all that stuff. But as long as I have her with me, like I do a lot of that stuff, it's not, when I say she saved me that night, that dude from Insidious was getting me, she did. I was a goner. That joker come through the couch and had me by the soul, dragging me wherever. And Lindsay was there. Like she grabbed me. Was like, it's okay, baby. Like wiping sweat off of my face. Like
that's hilarious.
I get it.
The scary movie.
Like as long as I feel safe. As long as her and Cam's around, I'm safe with all that stuff. But April, to answer your question, yes, I do. I did not want any of my kids to be scared of that stuff because one, the older I got, the more I thought, you know what? Like we're taught that God has the greatest power there is and he can defeat all that stuff. So why are we being so scared of it? And, so I kind of felt that way about it. And like, two is like, I feel like if when I was younger, they were like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like it's really going to get you and stuff like that. Like, and gave me a healthier fear of it. It wouldn't have been so bad.
Because my mom the same way. She is petrified of everything. And it just made us have the same kind of fear to it. So it's kind of like, I wish I would have went more with my dad because he wasn't afraid of anything. He loved anything got a crazy monster in it. And my mom is the complete opposite. So I kind of feel like I wish I didn't inherit that fear of everything because it kind of stopped me from participating in some movies that probably isn't that bad. They're probably good movies. They're just a little bit, on the scary side. So I think my mom is a big, and it sounds like all our parents is a big influence on what we afraid of and what we not afraid of.
Yeah. I told my mom the other day. I was like, you the reason why I'm so scared, don't you? Because my mom the same way. My mom skittish and scary, everything. And don't get me wrong, I come from a religious family too. So if my mom walked by and saw, my mama could walk by and watch me and see me watching Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, and she would give me and my brother a lecture about the demonic stuff that was going on in it. And I gotta go in my room and close the door and watch it, you know. But now if she saw some real demonic stuff on there, it was going on. It was going on. So I tell mama all of the time that they the reason why I'm scared of everything now.
My mom wasn't that bad. She is a preacher kid, but she wasn't that bad. She let us participate, but it had to be like happy-go-lucky. I can't paint my face. She didn't let us scare others.
Yeah.
So she never let us scare, but she did let us. So I was happy that she at least let us do that.
Yeah. My mama would take me trick-or-treating and stuff like that, but it like she wasn't doing the demon stuff, and it wasn't about scaring people. It was about like I said, I can sit up and watch Casper and stuff like that, but that crazy stuff, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
The scariest movie I've seen of all time is probably It. When they first showed the clown with the teeth, and I'm talking about the original It, not the new It, which is terrifying too. But the original It, I was scared for years and years and years of that clown. And it's a long ass movie. Was it a mini series at first?
It was a TV series at
TV
first.
series?
It come on
Okay.
the TV, so
Yeah,
it was a TV movie.
that's probably the scariest movie I saw coming up. What I want to talk about something April brought up about diversity in some of these characters in horror films, whether it be slashing films, whether it be kid friendly movies. So, April, if you want to start it off talking about that, you know, I know you want to touch on that.
Well, I really wanted to touch on the costume part. Princess Tiana, like from Princess and the Frog, that's the first and only Black princess, and yet you don't have like an adult costume for her. And you rarely even see her costume for kids, like you know, in the Halloween store. You know, I think we kind of sold ourselves short because we were always make jokes like Black folks won't be in no scary movie, or we'll be the first one to die. And now you see so many shows, and they started to come out like sci-fi shows and scary shows, and we are in it. And now it's like we can't appreciate it. But I think in the beginning we kind of sold ourselves short, and we was like, we won't do that. So now we don't have like a list of characters to kind of celebrate with, you know, kind of dress up as. And you know, a Black little kid wants to see a reflection of themselves in these movies, even though we don't participate with it in it. But it's another little Black little kid just like Cameron that like Freddie.
Yeah.
And there's no purpose in there for them to, you know, represent themselves. You know, it's representation is important, and we don't genre because I think we just shut it down because we don't do that. We're not participating in that, and I think it kind of suck a little bit for the people who do want to celebrate Halloween. You know, you don't have a whole big, you know, category to choose from. You know, you either have Black Panther or you have Princess and the Frog. You know, it's not a lot of things that we can participate or dress up as. You know, every Black girl don't want to be Cinderella. You know, she want to be our own princess. You know, so
Yeah.
I agree. That's a really good assessment because we like Black people really just starting to get a lot of representation. And you see us a lot of pushback and stuff like that. Like even with the new Little Mermaid, Ariel's gonna be Black this time in the movie, and you got some pushback and stuff. But I think that some of these studios started finding out that like the world is just diversifying, and people want to see themselves represented. Children need to be able to look up the superheroes and stuff like that. And when we grew up, we had to look up to white characters when we was growing up. You know, we had a couple come out of the woodwork like Static Shock and stuff like that. But now the kids will have Black Panther and they'll have Falcon and they'll have the War Machine and you see it starting to happen a little bit more where these movies starting to diversify a little bit and it's good to have that representation. We've always needed representation and it's just now starting to happen. But I agree with you about, you know, it's just not. When we were growing up, it wasn't a lot of representation. We didn't see ourselves in these roles. We had to be Batman. Batman's white. Superman's white. We don't got hair like that. So
You had Shaft. You had Shaft.
John Shaft.
We had Storm. You had Storm back then and Catwoman. You know, you can do that. But a lot of characters, me and Lindsay talked about this. A lot of white characters don't translate well when you're trying to dress up like that.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my Hocus Pocus, and you know, all three of us at work wanted to do Hocus Pocus, and I'm like, I'm a black girl. If I put on a 1800 dress, I'm not gonna look like a witch. I'm gonna look like a slave. Sorry, ain't no translate well. You know, I'm trying to dress up as Captain Hook tomorrow, and I pray to God I don't look like Rick James because it's looking. You know, we need some characters out there that you know exactly what that is. You know, you can identify with it. And I think the kids are a little bit lucky because they do have more than what we had, you know, back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a brilliant assessment.
It is. Well, the last topic I want to bring up, I want to know you guys' favorite Halloween movie. Favorite Halloween movie. Whether it be, I'll start this one off. The Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite Halloween movie. I love it's Tim Burton did it. It's such a good, rich story, and it had a terrifying villain in the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
And so, the Nightmare Before Christmas. If you haven't seen it, which everybody should have seen, The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's my favorite, and it's creepy enough. I love the lead in it. It's a wonderful movie.
Hey, can I after we get through? Can I ask one more question?
Sure. Yeah.
But my favorite is gonna be it's hard to pick between Casper, Hocus Pocus, and Halloween Town because that's my three favorite.
Hocus
but if
Pocus.
I had to pick a favorite, the ones
Hocus
that make
Pocus is overrated.
No.
I don't want to get off into this. I don't want to get off into it because it's a trap. But Casper made the biggest impact on me, so probably Casper would be my favorite.
Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic, and Sleepy Hollow are three. But Before Christmas, I don't like it, Juicy. I'm sorry.
You don't like it?
I don't like it at all.
Wow.
And I like Tim Burton, but yeah.
Was it because it was creepy or what?
It's creepy, and I was like,
It's creepy.
You know, this is a little dark for a kids movie. I can't stand it. I'm sorry.
Maybe that's why I liked it. It was.
It used to scare the crap out of me. I used to have to sleep with my mama when I watched it. I did, because I always remember that one scene where I think it's like right after Jack died and that werewolf started howling, and that was the scariest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so I don't like it. And yeah, Edward Scissorhands is a good one. But yeah, no, I'm sorry.
That's more of a drama to me. That's kind of light.
I think Edward Scissorhands is more of a Christmas movie.
Yeah. That ain't a horror. That's just look scary.
Well, Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of a Christmas movie.
This is true. I do like Nightmare Before Christmas.
But it was some killing in us. I mean, it was. Yeah, that's a horror movie too.
Edward Scissorhands is a weird dude with scissors for hands.
It's Christmas though. It's Christmas fun. He wants new hands.
That boy was a beautician. What about you, Lindsay and Kelly? What's your favorite Halloween movie?
So my favorite, I cannot do Halloween will not be complete until I watch the original Halloween, Michael Myers. The very first one, on Halloween night after we've all trick-or-treated, we like to come home, eat our candy, and watch Halloween. That's cannot be complete unless I watch that for the season. And then my second favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus. You see, it is. I'm sorry.
It's overrated.
Love it. I was in third grade when it came out, and it was just magical. I still want to be a Sanderson sister. I really think I'm Winnie. I just went for it. I feel like I'm her. So.
Y'all overrate the witches. The witches from the witches. I know y'all remember the movie The Witches.
I love witches. Oh, witches. That's a good one.
Those witches would wash Hocus Pocus witches.
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing. we didn't watch a lot of those movies that we grew up with for how great the movie was. It's just the fact that we grew up with those movies.
That's
That's
true.
the
That's
thing about
probably
it.
true.
It's a lot of those 90s movies that aren't great movies, but
Yeah.
we love them because we grew up with them. That's what
Then it's
Hocus
called-
Pocus is. If you're watching Hocus Pocus for a 97 review on Rotten Tomatoes, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's great because we grew up with it and it's a part of our childhood. So
That's true. And I'll say this, back to Juicy, Witches, the original Witches, that movie right there, that is a freaking scary movie. I mean, as an adult watching it, even, it's still, that movie scares me. When
And
she
it's
pulls that
underrated.
mask off,
It's
it's
underrated.
underrated.
Yes.
Well, you
Witches
know,
is
they
underrated.
redid it on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's gonna come out with Anne Hathaway. She the
Anne
lead.
Hathaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, for so long in my life, I never got to watch any of it. So, like, yeah, Hocus Pocus would be there, but I'm really like, when I tell you that our daughter loves all the craziness, like, we save these movies through the year. I love Leprechaun, and I'm not gonna watch it by myself, but I'll watch it with Cambry or Lindsay. But I like watching Leprechaun, Freddy Cougar, you know, like Jason. That's cool stuff. Like, I guess the big hitters are the popular ones are the ones I like. But I don't know. I mean, I really like those Saw movies. That gory, gruesome. What are you gonna do? Like, is your life? Are you willing to sacrifice a limb to save your life? Or like, I just like stuff like that. It's crazy, I know.
The first
I
Saw
like
was
those Saw
scary.
movies.
The first Saw was scary as shit because we never seen anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotten a little ridiculous as it went on, but that first Saw was legit.
So, Juicy, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
I know Rashad has a question, but I want to ask you a question. If you could be any character in any scary movie without consequences, who would you be?
Without consequences. That's a really good question. Whether it be on a spiritual realm or whether it be a slasher.
Any horror movie, slasher movie, psychological thriller even, who would you be without consequences? You can pick to be this character.
Without consequence.
Without consequences.
That's tough. I would have to be like a supernatural character.
I didn't mean to spur it on you. I just thought
That's a tough. I'm gonna say because I don't want to be nothing deformed. I want to be something that's tangible, that's good looking, that can take part in human interaction.
That boy want to be a vampire.
Actually,
right.
yeah.
That's me,
Eric
baby.
Eric Northman
okay.
helped me out a lot. Eric Northman from True Blood.
That's good.
I would love to be Robert Pattinson if I could be anything, because the things that my wife would do for me would be just, I mean, amazing. She's such a Robert Pattinson fan. A vampire, that would be so cool to be a vampire.
That would be cool.
It would be cool to be a vampire.
What about you, Sha? What you want to ask?
No, the question that I had is that, like, I know what we think the real horror is, but what are those like movies for y'all that's like the really sneaky, spooky movies that almost might not be scared of anybody else, but it's got a spooky, eerie aura to it. Mine would be like the cartoon version of Sleepy Hollow. That movie always had like a weird, like, it's not a horror movie. It's like, it doesn't horrify me. But from the moment that movie comes on to the moment it goes off, I just feel weird. Yeah. Like, I feel weird. I feel like that about Sleepy Hollow, the cartoon version. I feel like that about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Coraline.
And I feel like that about Don't Look Under the Bed, a Disney Channel movie that I used to watch.
Don't Look Under the Bed, yo. I remember.
Like, I just have a weird, eerie feeling when I'm watching it. It's not horrifying. It doesn't really give me nightmares, but it just makes me feel really, really weird the whole time I'm watching it.
Yeah.
For me, like Final Destination and Brightburn. Brightburn, something serious.
Yes.
it's low key kind of messed up. Like, yeah, the evil
I,
super. Yeah, no.
Brightburn, man. I watched that with you, and
Yeah.
your face watching that movie, like we should have recorded just your face during the whole movie of Brightburn, because that movie is spooky, and I agree. It's got that eerie. It's not scary, but it's got that eerie feeling the whole time you're watching it. But April Betts, man, let me just tell you, she lost it over Brightburn.
Uh, for me, when it comes to movies like that, it's not more so the actual movie; it's more so the outcome that bothers me. So, like if evil win, I not like the slash and not like the killing, I like all the possession and all that shit. But when evil actually wins at the end, that kind of bothers me more than anything. 'Cause I feel like it shouldn't end with evil winning. So any kind of movie in that realm of evil actually winning and possession and all that and really really coming through at the end, that's what kind of bothers me more than anything, low key.
yeah.
What character that you wanted to be? I always wanted to know between a witch, a ghost, a zombie, a vampire. What would you choose?
A vampire all day.
All that.
Vampire.
Like if you had to choose to be one,
Yeah,
a vampire.
yeah. I think that's
I've
there.
been wanting supernatural abilities my whole life. So
Yeah, a
But
vampire.
the true G is Blade, because Blade is a vampire, and he get to kill other vampires. So you want to rock with Blade?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've been on the hill a hot little minute. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. As we do every single episode, we're going to leave the people with a suggestion, whether it be a movie, music, anything y'all want to leave with the people. I'm gonna start with you, April.
I think everybody need to check out Lovecraft Country, because that is a good sci-fi show with a majority black cast. And like I said, you don't see a lot of that. And I think genre, I can't say that, but I guess it's something that we've been thirsting for and looking for, because you want to see what people that look like you would do in those positions if they got in those crazy positions. And so I think that's a show that everybody should check
And
out.
from what I heard, with everything with that show, the acting is A1. With
Yeah.
Journey Smollett,
I heard.
I heard it's A1, so I'm gonna definitely check that out. What about you, Lindsay?
So for me, I'm gonna give y'all this girl's name. Her name is Bailey Sarian. It's on YouTube, and she does Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays. It's like a crime podcast, like true crime. And this is for the girls. She puts her makeup on too. But I will say we've got some guys watching it at work, and they like it too. But she like goes in depth of like serial killers and true crime and stuff. So if you're into true crime, Murder Mystery Makeup Monday with Bailey Sarian on YouTube.
What about you, Kendall?
Oh man, y'all got to go to Netflix and check out The Cabin with Bert Kreischer. It is hilarious. It is so funny.
What about you, Ray Shaw?
I hadn't watched anything new lately. I've been watching my favorite show, The Office. So check The Office out.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna suggest the Hun, the Bly Manor. Also, it was so good. It made me go back and watch the first one, which is the Hun, the Hill House. So if you haven't seen either one, I suggest, Rashad, that you watch both the Hun, the Hill House. Shot, write this down: the Hun, the Hill House.
No,
The Hun, the Bly Manor. So definitely check that out,
no,
brother.
I'm
no,
gonna check
neither
that
one.
out, GC.
It'll do
I've
you
been wanting to
good
do
for the
that.
soul.
Okay.
All right. Anything y'all want to leave with the people before we get out of here?
Praying for everybody to get through this year, 2020, and everybody go vote. And hopefully we can have a better one in 2021, but just a better year.
If you gotta go trick or treating, just be careful, be safe. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All
It's
right.
that time of year. Go to a pumpkin patch. If you're too scared, Rashad, you can go to a pumpkin patch. If you're not too scared, go to a haunted house. But definitely do some trick or treating and get into the festivities of Halloween. But like Beth said, be careful to everybody.
And I want to leave this with everybody. If you have a teenager come into your your house to trick or treat and they're legit there to trick or treat, give them candy. They could be out doing God knows what on Halloween, and if they've dressed up and they've made the effort to come to your door and say trick or treat, don't be a sourpuss and send them kids away.
Yeah.
I agree with that. 'Cause I'm gonna
But
be
be safe
as a
because
kid.
COVID's still out here.
I'm gonna be posing as a kid on Halloween to get candy with Isaac.
Yeah.
But yeah, peace, love, and light. I really want to thank Lindsay and April for coming on here. You guys are the first women on the podcast. Y'all did.
Thank you.
We
They
definitely
done
gotta have y'all
phenomenal.
back for the Christmas episode. I'm gonna dress up as a fat elf. We can do this again. All right, Nova Trifecta, baby. We out.